Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for DOGWIFHAT. Now, going off last video, we were discussing, want to see higher volume come in. I put on a trend line. This candle has about 9 hours left on the daily. Want to see volume come in, at least in this candle or the next, to get the highest volume in this trend for the third of the third. No issue on the RSI. We're getting higher highs and higher on the RSI, so everything looks good there. Do want to see this really pick up momentum here within the next day or two. I took, so this is our 1-2-1-2. I took a time fib extension for this, and we want to see us get up to our third wave. Just a guideline, it's not a rule, but at least the 1.618 extension in time of this wave 1 off the wave 2, and that would be by around Tuesday, March 5th. Just a guideline. It can take longer, but I like to see at least it's getting close. Now down on the 4 hour, we had a wave 1 and a wave 2 right between the 50 and the 618, then a micro 1 and 2 between the 50 and the 618, and we're pivoting to the upside for that third of the third. Targets for that are between 224 and 304 on log scale. That would take this coin to about 3 billion market cap if we hit $3, which with everything moving together, it would probably take it somewhere around top 80 on coin market cap, which seems very reasonable to me. It was 154 last video, so seems reasonable. And that's if we were working on log scale for just the third of the third, and then we get our fourth and fifth to the upside. But for my trade, I'm just taking the third of the third currently. If we're on linear scale, depending where we are on that time frame I mentioned there that you can see, that would be between 74 and 81 cents. So it depends kind of where we are at that time frame for me to decide to hold on or not, and the wave count that's in play currently. So go down to the 15-minute. I'm on another exchange. I got a question about where you would enter if you weren't in this. It's going to be very difficult, and just my thoughts on it. It's not financial advice, but first of all, the low is here according to my count. This was a expanded flat, and then we made our fifth wave. No overlap between those two waves. Off that low, we have a diagonal 1 and 2, very short 2, and we took off parabolically after that. I threw on this pitchfork off the last pivot. Works out very well, and I use this more as indication when a wave could be complete. So as it comes up here, when it starts to drift out, I can say, okay, the third wave is most likely complete in this third wave. Okay, so where does that take us now? It's funny, when I switch these, they get all, when I go back and forth from log and linear, these get a little screwed up. A little bit out of whack. So this is our all-time high. You can see in our dotted line here. That's our all-time high on MEXC. So what I like to see when we're making all-time highs, this was our previous smaller one too, in gray, you can see here. So I kind of have these marked out. You can see them on the left. I have these marked out just to see where we're correcting. And as of right now, I have this as our third wave complete in this micro 1-2. Where's my labeling? There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Sorry, I know my chart's a little bit ugly. So we will get rid of... There we go. That's why my chart was looking a little bit funky. So you can see this pitchfork was trending very nicely for it, and I use that just as indication when a wave could be complete. So I have this currently as our third. We came to the 1.618 extension. So this is what you see in green here. Those are extensions of our wave 1 off our 2. So we peaked right at the 1.618 as expected for a third wave. Looking for this fourth wave as a flat, and then we get our fifth wave up between the 200 and the 2.236 between, let me get rid of this for a second, between 62.80 and 67.20 is where I'm looking for my fifth wave to complete, and then perhaps a light retracement as maybe like a running flat or something. So we get our fourth, fifth, and then we get some sort of running flat for continuation. So if you've been in markets before where things get parabolic, you kind of have to take a little more risk than normal setups if you don't want to miss the trade. It's not FOMO, it's just realizing what trend you're potentially in. And the difficulty is weighing that risk while still making good decisions, right? So if this is labeled correct, realize that we have a wave 1, 2, third came to the 1.618 as expected. We have a move to the downside. We've been grinding up sideways. I'm expecting just a quick move down for our fourth and our fifth to the upside. So that's an opportunity to get in. Another opportunity is after this 5 waves, but again, you might only get that first drop because we make a running flat and our C wave in this ABC gets protected by the A. I'm not saying that's happening. Nobody knows how it's going to play out, but I'm just saying in very bullish markets, that's usually how it plays out. You don't get zigzags. You usually get running flats, which can make it very difficult to get into a trade. So it depends how you want to enter that. So I have the 236 and the 382 on the board here. That's at 52.06 and 48.35. That's our standard area, and the 50 at 4.555. So that's our standard areas for our fourth, right there in a regular Elliott Wave move. But has this gone higher yet? No, we're good. So the 1-to-1 extension of this A wave off this B, if it doesn't go higher, it can keep drifting up here, just repull the pivots, is at 53.92 and 50.81. So anywhere in this zone, as long as this pivot holds and we drop from here, that's where I would look to buy. Stop would probably go at the just past the 50 somewhere on log. Around 47.02, probably around 45 cents just to be safe would be where I would put my stop. So it would be something like this, around 45 cents, and I'd be targeting way up at that $3. I'd literally just leave this trade, wouldn't touch it all the way up if I was not in it. So if this changes, you just repull where the pivot's from, wherever that B wave ends. You'll have to pull that up. But I am expecting some pretty bullish corrections, as in running flats. Nothing says that has to happen. It's just with my experience in parabolic markets, if you think this is going to be one of those, that's how they tend to play out. Throw that on. Just throwing on our B and X zone here. So if this is our A wave, our B wave can come as high as between 60.84 and 62.24, and then get this pivot down and make our running flat, just so you know. We should get that move down, just because we have a one move down here. That can't be all the correction of the fourth wave, or it shouldn't be, I should say. So looking for just one more move back up. All right, guys, that's it for DOGWIFHAT. I hope this was helpful. Everything's looking good, looking bullish, and we'll see how this plays out. Guys, that's it for this one. Make sure to follow me on Twitter if you prefer to get updates that way. It's excuse me, at caching_waves, and check out the playlist if you'd like. I'll be doing quite a bit of updates today. All right, thanks for watching.